real quick aside, and then we can go right back to happy talk. But you were there. Is it true that Shawn Michaels inherited a bunch of money from a rich fan who left it to him?
Yes. I can't remember the amount or the exact particulars, but yes, that was a true thing. There was a fan who passed away, did not have, I hope he didn't have any goddamn close relatives, or was it a he or she? I can't even remember.
It was a woman, I think. It was an older woman.
Okay, older woman.
That's a story, at least, yeah.
Hopefully whoever this unnamed person that I've forgotten about is, didn't have close relatives that they cut out of the will, but yeah, Shawn got an inheritance. And I mean, that was the thing in the territory days, the modern era of the territory days, 80s, early 90s, the guys started calling them sponsors because when things got tough in the wrestling business, I mean, this is not like a new thing. It's been going on since there were men and women, that some guys would, move into a situation and take advantage of either being cooked for, cleaned for, financed, given a place to stay, whatever, in a particular town by one of their female sponsors.
It's not just wrestling. I mean, it's like minor league baseball too.
Yeah. But that, that was the case when, especially when the wrestling business, except for the big companies, was starting to be bleh, guys did what they had to do. But there's also always been the stalker type that would go the extra mile and would follow guys, if they could, home or wherever they were staying, or would try to track down addresses and phone numbers. And remember, I've told you the story of she was harmless, as it turns out, but the girl named Pam out in Wilmington, North Carolina, that somehow fell in love with Bobby Eaton without ever having seen him in person, just seen him on TV, and sent boxes of fan mail. But not just boxes of fan mail to the Crockett's office in Charlotte, but postcards and pictures. She had a shrine to Bobby on a dresser in her bedroom, and she had taken to calling Bobby her little tater.
Oh, that's right.
Right? Remember, I told you this. And there was a basket on the shrine. There was pictures of Bobby, and there was the things that reminded her of Bobby, and there was a basket of potatoes, and there was a big potato with like blonde yarn for hair, and she had drawn eyes on it, and she had her little tater. And I mean, she sent pictures of her in not anything sexy or naked or whatever. Just, she wanted to marry Bobby, and she would talk about, she hoped that they would someday be together. And you could tell something was going on, obviously, but she'd have pictures of her in various places with a tater, thinking of Bobby, or the shrine she had, or pictures stuck up everywhere, or I've still got the box around here somewhere because it was fascinating. It should have been a character study in some psychology manual. And the punchline was, first time, because we didn't go to Wilmington a lot because there was no indoor building. We only ran in good weather out at Legion Stadium. That's where the plane was going that crashed with Flair and those guys. It was going to Wilmington Legion Stadium. So the first time we go to Wilmington after this mail starts, and I'd show it to Bobby in the car, and I'd tell him about it. And he's like, me and Dennis would rib him about it. And then we go to Wilmington, and she's going to be there, right? And I thought, oh boy, this might, something good might happen, or funny, or whatever. And a big rainstorm comes. And by the time we get there, it's pouring rain. And of course, it's an outdoor show. And in the grandstand, there's an overhang. And the people that are staying, hoping that the show will take place, are under that overhang up in the stands. And the ring's getting soaked. And it's pouring. And I think, oh, God damn it, who's the promoter? Carl Murnick or Elliot Murnick, one or the other. We're asking, are we going to do this? Well, not sure. Hang around. And we look out, and from the dugout locker room area where you walked across to the field and then went out on the field, they're standing in the rain with an umbrella and a bouquet of what looked like a dozen roses, because this is 150, 200 feet away easily. One lone woman, umbrella, and it looked like the pictures of old Pam, Pam Falcon was her name. An umbrella and a dozen roses and wearing a dress.
Oh.
And standing there in the rain. And thinking, we're heels. We can't go out there because it's right in front of the whole building, right? At the same time, Bobby's too embarrassed / shy. We're ribbing him, go out there. You know Bobby, right? He's like, no, Corny, I'm married. I don't want to get involved in this. And she's, you see,
because that's what you mean.
Well, you know, it was like, he said, I don't want to lead this woman on, and I'm married, and I don't know what, you know, and I'm not a tater. And so finally they call it off about 20 minutes later, and we all get in the cars, we're parked, and we turn and leave at the other end of the field, and there that woman was still standing there with that. But anyway.
Oh, that's like a heartbreaking ending to the story.
Well, if she kept sending the letters, she wasn't deterred. And then I think the letters came until Crockett's office closed.
Do you think if Bobby just like gave her a kiss on the cheek and like a slow dance, that'd be it? She'd be happy forever?
No, I think that then Bobby would have gone home and found Donna boiling in a pot on the stove or something. So that's, no, hey.
With potatoes?
People with potatoes. Now with potatoes. These, some of the people, some of the fans, the male fans were the violent ones, but the female fans were the more motivated if they were involved with somebody. You've heard the stories where people supposedly were claiming they were married to Jerry Jarrett in Louisville in the first couple of years had 3 or 4 wives in the crowd that claimed to be his wife, trying to be somebody and get the fans to make over him. But they'd find out that his mother was the promoter. She's walking through the building. And so but Teeny would bust some of them claiming to be Jerry Jarrett's wife. And, you know, you never know how far people are going to take a thing like that.